Stargaze, and I just wanted to give everyone a quick update on what's going on with me and what's going on with the channel. So, as you may or may not have realized, I haven't posted in about a month, and that's primarily because I've been here, well, not here physically, but doing my grad school work. So, finishing up the capstone of Space Systems Engineering at Johns Hopkins. So, we were doing integration and test on a small satellite, or a simulated small satellite called ISAT, IS like the eagle. So I'm on campus this week at beautiful Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. And just if you're in the chat there, just say hi. Hey, Adam. And I'm just going to be walking around campus here and answering any questions that you might have, maybe about Johns Hopkins or about the channel. Hey, Infinity. And yeah, so what was I going to say? So we did film a video about the eclipse, and so I've been hearing from some folks that they really want to see that, and we've been filming a video. Actually, it's going to be in the same video, sort of a 2-in-1 on this Dobsonian from astroshop.eu. So they just sent me a Dobsonian, and they're like, please make a video about it. I'm like, well, I'll fit it in. So I'm combining that with the eclipse video. So that's what's going on there. I forget what our next video is after that, but it should be a lot of fun. So this summer, the main goal is to get Stargaze Nova Scotia operational, hopefully get an observatory or 2, or maybe even 3 in at that location in Nova Scotia. And yeah, hey, from Portugal. How's it going? Sophia. Yeah, and so it's gonna be a lot of work, but hopefully we'll be making videos, and I'd like to do more collaboration. So we've got Ian Lauer, YouTuber who apparently helped Trevor Jones get started, so he might come up to Nova Scotia. We've got Beth Mund, who is the host of Casual Space Radio, and so she is going to be launching a spaceship, like suborbital spaceship, so not only going up, 100 kilometers, from Nova Scotia, from the new maritime launch system there. And so we'll probably be participating in that and maybe make a video there. So that's what's going on. We've got, it's really a beautiful campus. Maybe we'll flick the camera around here. So we've got, I can zoom in, training things going on over there. We just passed the stadium, which I didn't even show. This, I think, is just the gym, the sportsplex here. Just walking towards the center of campus here and seeing what we see. But yeah, it's nice to be down in the south here. We had, for our eclipse trip, and you'll see in the video, we had a major snowstorm at the beginning of this month, about 4 hours north of where we live in Halifax. And so, yeah. Oh, thanks for the congratulations on 33K. It's been fun here talking to all my classmates, because some of them it's the first time I've seen in person. And it's really interesting because, a lot of them they have the jobs that to me are the coolest jobs in the world. I talked to one person, he works on integrating the boosters for SLS. And then Lauren, who's also, she also has an Instagram account, Lauren Astro, I think. So she, what's her job? Oh, she works for Blue Origin, and she's on 2 different lunar lander, I think the human-rated lunar landers that Blue Origin is developing. And so she's working on both of those spacecraft. And what else are people doing here? Met a girl named Stephanie last night in our class, and she is the contamination engineer for United Launch Alliance, so making sure that their rockets do not contaminate the satellites. But a lot of people here, maybe a little less than half, but half are NASA employees or NASA adjacent. So Jet Propulsion Laboratory, got a contingent here from JPL, and then quite a few people from the Cape, who live in Florida. On, I can't never remember how to say it, Merritt Island, whatever the place is. The people live where they work on the spacecraft directly, whether it's for Blue, ULA, Space Force. Yeah, actually a lot of Space Force adjacent people here. So the folks on my team were Raytheon, one out of Santa Barbara and one out of Los Angeles. Maybe a tenth of the people here are Lockheed Martin space, and so it's been cool. A lot of what they do is confidential. So we've got 2 Skunkworks people here, and they can't talk about anything. I joked because last time Skunkworks put out a thing of what they were doing, it was blimps, and they laughed at me. And they're like, well, it's probably closer to Dark Star from Top Gun. It's what they actually do. And so that was pretty interesting to meet those people. And then our professors are here at Applied Physics Laboratory. Well, here, that's down the road about 20 miles in Laurel, Maryland. And so they work on a lot of NASA's deep space missions. And so they just came off, the past few years, the Pluto mission, New Horizons, which was built here on campus, and Parker's solar probe to the sun. And it's been really fun talking to those professors about those missions, because you sort of hear all the drama behind the scenes. A really funny one with Parker solar probe, the sun shield on Earth was absorbing moisture, just a little bit of moisture into the carbon, and then when it approached the sun, that moisture was outgassing and actually changing the spacecraft's trajectory. And so they have a little bit of fuel on board and to correct the trajectory, but they were actually burning more fuel than expected just to counteract the outgassing from the water trapped in the solar array on the Parker solar probe as it approached the sun. And they figured it out eventually, and then after all the water had boiled out of the sun shield, then they didn't need to use any more fuel to offset that and correct the trajectory, and then it was bang on from that point forward. So it's funny to get all this the inside. And also, I don't know if you know, I don't know which direction it is, but mission control for the James Webb Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope is about a block from here. I think over there somewhere. So that's where all the mission controllers are for Hubble and JWST. I'm not sure if my student ID will get me in there. Might be worth trying. I don't know. I doubt it. It's a telescope institute separate from Johns Hopkins. Again, let's just pan around campus here. So, yeah. Someone asked, oh, does anyone here work on SpaceX stuff? That's a bit of a joke because SpaceX people are so busy. They tend to work 18 hours a day, and I don't know what the actual their education fund is. So, yeah, anyway, I'll read some comments here. Happy birthday to James. That's awesome. Good morning, A Fever. Let me think. Oh, SpaceX, going back to SpaceX stuff. A lot of people here they're the ones that are using the rockets. So they're building spacecraft that will integrate with the SpaceX rockets. So a lot of the deep space missions, they'll require heavy. I think a Europa Clipper, which is built here on campus, well, here at the Laurel, Maryland campus. Ironically, their robotics lab is right here. And so I didn't actually realize, I think it's 4,500 employees here that just work on the spacecraft at Applied Physics Laboratory. And so it's quite a bit. I think it's only about 10% NASA missions though, and then the rest would be the Space Force or government stuff, NRO. Because one of the guys on my team works on missile defense and at least missile detection, and so their spacecraft are about the size of a small house, like a bungalow, and they sit in geostationary orbit, so 40,000 kilometers up, and then the spacecraft can detect, any missile launch, no matter how small, over the target area, and that way that the folks on the ground can then go take that missile out. And so that's what some people are working on here. Maybe another 10% for that. Because the budget for that is in the States has been about $100 billion for missile defense. Keep in mind, NASA's budget is $20 billion. So, some perspective. Yeah. Anyway, it must be a dream job. Well, ironically, I'm still a student. My day job is still primarily writing books about astronomy. So we're on book 18 or 19 now, depending on how you count them. I tend to count the Southern Hemisphere editions because they're a lot of work. even though I have to sort of hire out for that, because I haven't been down south very far yet. And so I partnered with a guy named Jan for the Southern Hemisphere for 50 things to see with a small telescope and 50 things to see with a telescope. I just use the same targets for those books. And so that's my day job. My job, what I've been spending most of my time on, as I talked about at the beginning of the video, was this course, this master's degree here at Johns Hopkins that I'm doing remotely from Halifax, which is really cool that, are able to do this. And this is just master's in space systems engineering, Johns Hopkins. It's not really systems engineering, even though the name says that. It's really space systems. So like actually learning about, attitude, direction control, command and data handling, thermal systems, structures, whereas systems engineering, a lot of that is like optimizing manufacturing and whatnot. Anyway, I actually need to sign off in a second here because I'm going to help some of my classmates that are graduating this May take their photos. So they went and picked up their garbs already, and they want someone to take some extra photos at this place on campus. So I'm actually going to sign off. Where can you buy the books? Amazon. 50 Things to See with a Telescope. It's the easiest way to find me. That's the main book. So anyway, other questions? No, just before you call me by name. Okay, what's the temperature there? It's currently 17 Celsius. Going to be up to 26 Celsius. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Haven't switched my phone over. Yeah, you guys too. Have an awesome day. Thanks everyone for tuning in for this quick tour of Johns Hopkins. We're currently at the tennis courts here. And these buildings are beautiful. They all sort of look the same though. Red brick. I like it. Okay, signing off. And we'll talk to you guys during the next video in the comments. We'll see you there.